All right, my first topic that starts off with Rick Ross and 50 Cent. Rick Ross is basically trolling 50 Cent, and then the same thing, vice versa. So not only Rick Ross and 50 Cent going at it, 50 Cent taking shots at Jay-Z by saying you shouldn't be a 60-year-old rapper still making music, still trying to be number one. He said he stopped doing music, so he's all about the making movies in the industry. So I disagree with 50 Cent on that because music is music. It doesn't matter what age you in. So by him dissing Jay-Z, it really not that important. You know what I mean? So TI bounced back with a hot record. You know what I mean? You still see 8 Ball and MJG doing it. You still see Bun B doing it. So it's a lot of old rappers still making great music. So I don't think that age have anything to do with making good music. So I disagree with 50 Cent on that. So I do think, a lot of young artists need to come out. Well, it's hard for first off, it's hard for any artist to get into the music industry because got a lot of gatekeepers in there. And be honest with you, it's better to stay independent instead of trying to get on a major label. That is my opinion. So back to 50 Cent and back to Rick Ross, I think if you look at the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin, I think 50 Cent and Rick Ross gonna be beefing forever. You know what I mean? So they beef ain't gonna never stop. They just gonna beef forever. Trust me. So they gonna be in an old nursing home, you know what I mean, and still going at it. that is how bad they don't like each other. So, but shout out to Filth, shout out to Rick Ross. Shout out to Filth, shout out to Rick Ross. So the Tupac murder trial going on. You already know Kiefer D is up there. So Kiefer D he ratting out so many people on this Tupac murder trial. And I don't feel sorry for Kiefer D. You know what I mean? I'm a big Tupac fan. Whether he did it or not, he been running his mouth. So when you run your mouth, whatever, this is what's gonna happen. You should have went to the grave by saying you had nothing to do with Tupac's death, but you want to be famous on your podcast and you want to run your mouth. So this is what happens. So now you facing life. Either way, you facing life. Whether you get 10 years or 20 years, either way, you know what I mean? He's old. He got cancer. So you, Keefy D, you got yourself into this. You know what I mean? All you had to do is keep your mouth shut about what happened that night in Vegas. So not only you a snitch, but you snitch out your whole family. You know what I mean? Well, not your whole family, but your cousin. You know what I mean? Orlando Anderson, you snitched him out. You know what I mean? Whether he did or not, you still supposed to keep your mouth shut. That's the rules of the streets. Keep your mouth shut. So, Suge Knight, I seen a couple of his interviews, and he said Keefy D retarded, and he's saying Puff Daddy chose the retarded motherfucker to do a stunt, and he went along with it. So I think that the jury is going against whatever Keefy D said in the interviews and his book, and they're gonna have to go by whatever Keefy D said in the interviews and all this other stuff that he said in public. And I think they're gonna use whatever he said to convict him of killing Tupac that night in Vegas. And like I say, all this could have been avoided if he would have just shut up. So when you run your mouth, you're knocking on devil's door. So this is what happens. So he could have been out living free like everybody else, and you know, he could have took that to the grave. But he wanted to be famous on these interviews with V-Live and all that stuff. He wanted to be famous, so now he got it, you know. So man up, stop writing, stop running your mouth, and man up. You know, you got yourself into this. You got yourself reinvented. That's something that, you know, so now you got no chance of beating this. It's a federal case. I don't see him getting out. It's just my opinion. So I don't think he's gonna beat this murder charge that they got on him. The state got too much evidence, and all he had to do is keep his mouth shut. He'll be a free man. So Tupac will get justice. That's all I got to say about this. So the next topic is Lil Durk. So Lil Durk trial begins Monday. It's not looking good for Lil Durk. Lil Durk got to beat two charges. I think the murder for hire, he got to beat both cases in order to get off. So it's not looking good for Durk at all. He another rapper that been talking mess in his music. So the feds use his music. Of course, the people that got caught, they snitching on Durk. And it's not looking good. So it's they word versus Lil Durk and the murder for hire. So that trial begins on Monday. And then that's why I say if you're gonna do anything, it's best to do it yourself. Even though you do got money, best to do it yourself, because you know a lot of people is not going to take that rap by itself, especially if you got all this money, you fucking these hoes. They're not finna do that time for you, buddy. So, and it's like, it's tough too, because his fan base wanted him to ride for King Von. And then, you know, your brother got clapped. Your brother's one thing. Like, I understand you put the hit out for your brother, but damn, man. You know, the boy did a sloppy job, man. They supposed to kill Quando, but they got his cousin. You know what I mean? So the people who you sent the hit to, you know what I mean, they did a sloppy job. So not only they did a sloppy job, like now they taking you down with they mess because they don't know how to do a hit. So that's why I say that the tie-in mobs, they the ones that do the shit correctly. You know what I mean? When that boss goes down, the tie-in mob, they kill everybody. They knock them off. You know what I mean? Y'all seen the movies, man, Godfather and stuff like that. Like let them go to jail, but boy, look at here. They killing everybody. Now, they ain't gonna touch your wife and kids. They ain't gonna do that, but you gotta go. You know what I mean? So they get rid of all the evidence, bitch. You ain't finna talk. No, nothing. You ain't finna say nothing in the court, not in the courthouse. And a lot of them guys know that. That's why they went into protected custody. They said, shit, I'd rather go in protected custody than have them bitches kill me. But hopes and prayers for Lil Durk, you know what I mean? Lil Smirk, whatever. Hold your head up. Cause you gotta fight, man. Gotta fight. So my next topic is the Game. The Game dropped the album over the weekend. The documentary 3. And he got a feature from Drake called No Breaks. So everybody think that he's snitching, not snitching, but everybody think that he's dissing Kendrick Lamar on the track. So I listened to it a couple times. I don't see no diss at Kendrick. And he already made a statement. He said Kendrick not answering the phone. So, of course he's not answering the phone for you, Game, because you did a song not once but twice with his biggest ops. That's Drake. So, but I think the fans are making a big deal out of it because he hooked up with Drake to do his single for the album. And it is rap, man. Like I don't think that Game was dissing Kendrick Lamar on the track. So if you haven't bought that album, you know what I mean, it's on there. Or if you ain't listened to the single yet, it's out everywhere. So, but yeah. I think the fans is taking it overboard with Kendrick and the Game. So I don't think it's beef there. Only way I think it's beef, Kendrick got to drop a song and, you know, mention the Game or something like that, or the Game got to mention Kendrick in the song. But I think the fans is reaching. They want them to go at it. That's what I think. So, if y'all listen to the song or haven't listened to the song yet, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Called No Breaks, a song called No Breaks with Drake, featuring Drake on that single. So speaking of legends, so TI and Young Jeezy, they got an joint album coming on the way. I know back in the days, this wouldn't never happen. You know what I mean? So I guess both of their careers is over with, then they're over with. So now we get a TI and a Young Jeezy album on the way. So you already know it's gonna be fire, but you know, we living in today where music, no matter if you're good or not, it just don't sell. Unless you Drake or NBA Youngboy or something like that. That's the only way your music sells. So, but I'm looking forward to Young Jeezy and Young Jeezy and Young Ti album, joint album that coming out. So I know that thing will be fire. All right, next topic. Football season is back. Thank God for that. I've been watching a little bit of preseason just to see what my team look like, see what the Cowboys look like. And so far we got a good backup quarterback, and then we got a good receiver. So we picking up some more key players for defense. So defense getting better. It should be better than last year. And then the offense always great, but our defense, it should be better than last year. So Pittsburgh looking pretty good. They still got Aaron Rodgers there. They got our old coach. So Pittsburgh looking good. Jacksonville, and then Arizona looking good. Oakland Raiders, they definitely looking good. 49ers looking good. Who else? So it's a bunch of teams looking good. So season picks up. Well, it starts next month. So I'll be tuning in to the NFL season like always. And hopefully my Cowboys can make it to the playoffs this year. So that'll be my Christmas gift. The Cowboys make it to the playoffs. So as long as we make it to the playoffs and maybe get to the Super Bowl, I'll be happy. So that's sports talk. And then college will be kicking off pretty soon. And I'm a Florida State fan. So so football is back. No more suffering. So no more boring shit. No more boring nothing. You know what I mean? Football is back. So then after that, then you got the NBA season start back. So Philly should do good. They got LeBron James. So Allen Iverson happy. You know what I mean? So you got LeBron over there. You got Jaylen Brown. Shit, Philly, I don't know. Philly might be in there. But my team is the Heat. So we should do good. We got the Geek. We got Klay Thomas. You know what I mean? We just got him. We still got Bam. So NBA looking good. Football looking good. So that's it for my sports talk. All right, thank y'all for taking the time out y'all day for tuning in to the Realest Podcast. And I will holler at y'all on my next one. Peace.